I believe my screen is visible to you all. Please put it in the chat box. Yes. Screen is visible. Yes. Okay. So we are done with unit number 3. Now will be starting with unit number 4. Here I will be focusing on motivations, content theory, process theory, and in brief, I will be talking about some applications, right? So, 1 minute. Sometimes we feel that if employees are happy, then they are motivated, but it may not be true. So, how motivation is there? First, we have a need. We need something, right? And that need creates a tension in our cognitive mind. Because of that tension, we start giving efforts and we start giving performance. And after performance, we get rewards. So this gives us satisfaction. And once our first need is fulfilled or drive is fulfilled, second needs emerges. So this is how the process keeps on going. Now, these are all the theories that we will be talking in this class. One group is content theory, second is process theory. So content theory and content and process theories are part of cognitive model, and then we have non-cognitive model. So cognitive basically means knowledge. Okay. So in your mind there is some knowledge, there are some facts, some thoughts, right? So all the theories which talk about something that is going inside your mind are part of cognitive model. And non-cognitive model is something which talks about theories which is not related to something that is going in your mind, but something that is going in your environment, right? Within cognitive model, we have two broad categories. One is content theory, second is process theory. Content theory basically talks about what motivates an individual. So, for example, salary, growth, achievement, perquisites, bonus. So, what is the content that is going to motivate a person? So, different theories are explaining that what motivates a person. Process theory talks about how motivation occur. So, within my mind, some process is running because of which I get motivated to work on a particular task. So, that is a part of process theory, how motivation occurs. So as mentioned, cognitive model is talking about humans' mind in internal state. Content theory, what motivates employees. Process theory is how motivation. Within content theory, we have four categories: Maslow's, Herzberg, Elderford, Miklin's. So first we will be talking about Maslow. You must have studied about it in class 12th also. This theory suggests that needs have a definite sequence. So, for example, for every employee, physiological needs come first. That is what? Food, shelter, water, these are the basic requirements. Once a person get this, then they move towards safety needs. They need security. Once the safety needs are fulfilled, they move to next needs, that is social needs. That means they need affiliation, they want to be with people. Once this need is fulfilled, then they move towards ego needs, esteem needs. Once the esteem needs is fulfilled, then they move to self-actualization needs. That means the ultimate thing that they want in life. When that is fulfilled, that is the time when they achieve their self-actualization needs. So not all persons are driven by the same needs. At any point time, different people may have entirely different factors. To motivate employees, managers must recognize the need level of at which the employee is operating and use those needs to motivate employees. So Maslow, I'm not getting into detail because in class 12, in your graduation, you must have studied about it number of time. I'm moving to the next need, that is Herzberg's need theory, Frederick Herzberg's two-factor theory of motivation. Now, Maslow's need theory was based on the observation, right? Herzberg, on the other hand, he collected data from 200 engineers and accountants, took this sample and analyzed that all needs or all factors are not the motivating factors. For example, if you're doing a job, and the working condition is good. Fan is working, AC is there, heater is there, and all the facilities given to you. So will you be motivated to do work hard? Maybe no. But in case these working conditions are not up to the mark, proper lighting is not there, water facility is not there, then what will happen? You will be dissatisfied. You won't feel like doing work in that particular office, right? So working condition here is a hygiene factor, the absence of which is going to give you dissatisfaction, but the presence of which is not going to add any kind of satisfaction. It is no dissatisfaction situation. अगर वो है तो आपको कोई डिससेटिस्फैक्शन नहीं होगी. अगर वो बेसिक फैसिलिटीज नहीं है कंपनी में तो आपको डिससेटिस्फैक्शन होगी. So these are hygiene factors. Then there are certain factors which give you satisfaction. For example, achievement, recognition. Even work itself is a motivator. Sometimes we love what we do, right? So they all are the motivators. So Herzberg reported that both factors are unidimensional. The effect could only be seen in one direction. Now, Elderfer gave ERG theory, which says it was Clayton Elderfer is the complete name, existence, relatedness, and right. He says that existence basically means it is just a extension of what Maslow defined, right? So he says that for existence, whatever is needed is part of existence need, right? Then he talked about relatedness, that is, you need to be with friends, you need to be with your colleagues, so there is some social needs. And finally, he clubbed all the self-actualization needs and growth, ego needs to growth needs. So this is how Maslow defined the staircase. What you are able to see is what is defined in Maslow's need hierarchy, where he talked about physiological safety, social esteem, and self-actualization needs. Clayton Elderfer extended this model and he clubbed physiological and safety needs into existence need, social need and part of esteem need as relatedness needs, and portion of esteem needs and self-actualization needs as growth needs. Now, what is this division? On what basis he divided it? He said that esteem needs, your ego needs, are of two types. One is that I in my life want to grow in my career. I want to go up. I need power. I need to, I have ego needs. That is individual level. That is part of growth. That need is part of growth. Second is that when you are in a social group, you have certain ego needs that whatever I am saying, other group members are agreeing to it. I am able to give the decision. I am able to speak within that group. So these esteem needs are related to the group that you are part of, social affiliation. So he clubbed it into relatedness, right? So this is the relationship between Maslow's need hierarchy and Elderfer's needs. Further, if you look into Herzberg's hygiene and motivating factors, then before esteem needs, everything is hygiene factor. So your physiological, your safety, your social, all these needs are part of your hygiene factors. They are lower order needs. Only the higher order needs are the motivating factors. That is your achievement, your work itself, your growth, your promotions. That is going to make you that is going to give you satisfaction and give you motivation to work for the different projects in the organization. Correct? So Herzberg's theory is based on empirical study. That means 200 samples were collected, whereas Maslow is based on observation. There is no empirical data. Herzberg theory fails to explain the behavior of workers because normally workers are happy when they get money, basic shelter, food, social security. So his theory was more related to professionals, whereas Maslow's theory is true for all the employees in general. According to Herzberg, only higher order needs are motivators, but according to Maslow, all unsatisfied needs could be the motivators. Maslow needs is descriptive, it is describing each and everything. Whereas Herzberg needs are more like a prescription. Doctor gives you prescription, right? So it's a prescriptive in nature. So it doesn't follow any kind of sequence, whereas Maslow's needs follow an hierarchical arrangement of needs. Last in content theory, we have David McClelland's three need theory. Here, McClelland has explained that human needs, what when we say what motivates people, it is the need of achievement, power, and affiliation. So, affiliation is similar to relatedness, social needs. That means there is a desire, you want friends, you want close interpersonal relation. Achievement is similar to the growth need. That means you want excel, growth, strive, and success in a particular organization. Third thing that he defined is the need for power. So, everyone wants power. They want that whatever they are saying, people are agreeing to that. So here, power could be of two types, institutionalized power and personalized power. So institutionalized power is a power that you are using for the social benefit, whereas individual power, personalized power is an individual power that you are using for individual gain, right? Next, we have two viewpoints explained by Douglas McGregor, theory X and theory Y. So basically, McGregor explain that how employees view or how managers believe about employee. He explained theory X, which says that employees don't like to work, so it's more suitable for the people who are not very qualified. They are not very achievement oriented. They are simply working, doing the task to get the basic income. So for them, a manager should use carrot and stick approach. What is carrot and stick approach? That when the person is doing work, you give the reward, carrot, and if the person is not doing the work, you give stick, that is punishment. So theory X assumes that lower order needs dominate the employee. So when the lower order needs dominate the employee, then carrot and stick approach could be used by the manager. Unlike this, he explained theory Y, where manager thinks that employees are self-motivated, they know how to do work, they can do, and they want to do work. Right? So here it is a group of, it talks about group of employees who are motivated by higher order needs. Before I move to process theory, in case you have any doubt, you could ask. I'm giving you access to mic. Yes, any question? Could I move to process theories?
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, what is the need of power?
What is the need of power?
Yes, ma'am.
Basically, if you get a job where you have power, like, right, so you are more motivated to work there. Need of power तो you all know. अगर आपके पास किसी भी जॉब में पावर है या आपके पास कैपेसिटी है that you could influence others, right? You could tell them, okay, you do this, you do that, and the people are doing what you are telling them. So this gives you power, right? And people
Yes.
enjoy this power. This power makes them, this power motivates them to work for their particular job.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Okay. Anything else?
मैम जो लास्ट
I'm
वाली
moving
थोड़ी
to
लास्ट वाली थोड़ी पढ़ाई थी मैम, एक बार दोबारा बताना उसको। लास्ट वाली जो छोड़ी थी।
this one.
हाँ, एक्स वाई वाली, यस मैम, एक बार दोबारा बताना इसको।
ये theory नहीं है. Though in your SLM also it is written under theory, it is not directly a theory. It is basically a viewpoint. ठीक है? To explain how things work in the organization. One viewpoint is that is of theory X, where you say कि जिन भी ग्रुप ऑफ एम्प्लॉयज को आप लीड कर रहे हो, आप जिसके भी मैनेजर हो, वो ग्रुप लोअर ऑर्डर नीड्स से मोटिवेट होता है. दैट मीन्स सिंपल बेसिक फिजियोलॉजिकल नीड्स उनकी पूरी हो जाए, सोशल नीड्स पूरी हो जाए, तो दे आर हैप्पी. So it is more like for the workers, right? In this case, people don't like to work. They don't want to work. So you need to motivate them using the carrot and stick approach. So if they are not doing the work, you give them punishment. If they are doing the work, you give them rewards. दूसरा ओपिनियन ये था, दूसरा व्यू पॉइंट था अबाउट द एम्प्लॉयज हु आर सेल्फ मोटिवेटेड, दे वांट टू अचीव समथिंग इन देयर लाइफ, दे नो हाउ टू डू वर्क, दे आर ready to participate in decision making. So this explanation was given under theory why. So if a manager is dealing with such a group which is motivated by higher order needs, then they need to look into higher order needs कि आप achievement, promotions इन सब पे ज्यादा work करो, तब लोग motivate होंगे आपके organization में काम करने के लिए. Now it is clear?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. So I'm starting with the process theory. Then we have process theory. Process theory is about how motivation occurs, right? Okay. First, we have Vroom's expectancy theory. I think out of all the process theories, this one is confusing one. Rest is very simple to understand. So you won't face much problem in the others. So in this process theory, we have three components. Imagine, right? I give you a project. Okay? Up, I want to see whether you are motivated to work and give effort in this project or no. No. Then in your mind, there will be three components. First is expectancy, that is effort performance probability. That means either you will think that you have the knowledge, you have the ability to complete the task or perform in the project, or you will feel that, oh my God, I really don't know how to do it, right? So this is effort performance probability. So if some project is given to you, the first thing will be you will see the expectancy. So if as an employee, you will believe that you don't have the knowledge to complete the task, then your motivation will be zero. Other way around, if you will feel that yes, you could do this job, you will be very confident about doing the job, then your motivation to complete the job will be what? So it will be somewhere between 0 to 1. Once you have established this fact that you could perform, you are confident you could do this task, the second thing is you will look into instrumentality. That is, that what rewards will be given to you if you will perform it, right? Again, it could range from 0 to 1. So if you feel that if you will take this project, the promotion will be given to you, then your motivation will be high. And if it will be like this, that this is an add-on work, motivation will be zero, right? So आपकी performance क्या reward से connected है? And last is valence. What value or preference you attach to the reward that is given to you, right? It could range from -1 to 1. That means there is a possibility that I have a preference for the reward. There is also a possibility I don't want this reward. For example, if I will complete a task, I will be promoted or I will be transferred to some other country. But my family engagement is such that I don't want any kind of transfer. So my motivation will be minus, right? But if I want to move to abroad, then my motivation will be 1. So expectancy, instrumentality, valence is something that is going in your mind, which defines your motivation. If any one of them is zero, motivation will be zero. If any one of them will be negative, motivation will be negative. If both are positive, all three are positive, then motivation will be positive. This one is a little confusing, so I'm giving you access to mic. If you have any question, you could ask. Any question? Yes.
Ma'am,
Yes.
and can you repeat this?
Repeat what? Complete theory?
Yes, ma'am.
आपके पास एक प्रोजेक्ट आया ऑफिस में, ठीक है?
Okay, ma'am.
How your mind is going to interpret it? First of all, you will see whether you have ability to complete the task or not. Yes or no, right?
Yes, yes,
अगर
ma'am.
आपको लगेगा this is something that you could do, you are very confident about it, your motivation will be high. If you will
Yes,
see that no, I could not do it, I don't even know the software that they're talking about, I'm not confident I will be able to take this project, your
yes,
motivation will be zero, right?
zero. Yes,
So
ma'am.
this is expectancy. Your ability to complete the task, your perception about it, is the first thing that take place in my mind. It could range from 0 to 1. Either I
Mm,
could do the task or I could not do the task. Next, you will see that if I complete the task, will I get some reward? ऐसा भी तो
yes.
हो सकता है that you do just manager has given you the task and there is no reward. So if there is some reward, your motivation will be high. If there is no reward, motivation will be low. So again, it
No.
could be 0 to 1. Now the
Yes.
last thing is valence. That means that whichever reward you have been given, whether you have preference for that reward or not. For example, if you're doing a project and then you will be transferred to US. In your family, it is not something that you are looking for to go to abroad. Then your motivation will be -1. It could be
Minus.
-1 to 1. So there is a possibility that you have zero preference for the reward, negative preference for the reward, or you have the positive preference for the reward.
Okay.
Motivation will be positive if each component will be positive. If either of them will be zero, motivation will be zero. If either of them will be negative, motivation will be negative. Now it is
Mm,
clear?
yes.
Any other doubt? Okay. So I'm taking
Dr.
access of
Ravi.
mic. Uh, could you please repeat?
Uh, what kind of question can we expect out these theories? Like,
See,
will that
because
be kind
in
of
paper
case study or
bifurcation is such, in from paper examination point of view, bifurcation is such that you could have a 12.5 marks question or you could have a
no,
20
no,
marks
about
case study, right?
these
About theories, no?
theories? Yes.
I'm talking about that only. I'm talking about that only. So your paper pattern is such that you could have 12.5 marks question in part B, right? So if you get a theory, you won't get any one theory. Either you will get a group of theory, like you explain content theories, you explain process theories, you explain difference between content and process theory. A broader topic will be picked so that number of theories you could explain. For example,
Got
or you could get any one theory in write a short. Are you
it.
able to
So,
understand what I'm trying to say? कि
yes,
अगर आपके पास less than एक theory को explain करने के लिए marking scheme should be around 5 marks, 5 marks to 8 marks maximum, right? But to explain Bloom expectancy theory, 12.5 marks could not be given on that, right? So if you get topic question from this topic, then either it could be captured in a case study or it could be captured as a holistic question related to content theory, process theory, cognitive, non-cognitive theory, where you have to explain few theories. Is it clear?
got it. So they might, the examiner might ask directly to explain us the theories, right? Or could it be the
Yes.
scenario type? They might give a scenario and ask us to explain what kind of theory is this,
See,
or what.
if it gives you scenario, I have not kept that thing in my case study in past paper, one of the past paper it is there. So basically it was a part of 20 marks question. In 20 marks question, if the complete case study is given to you, and then for any character in the case study, it has been asked how this person is motivated and what is motivating that person, then it is scenario based. Otherwise, in part B, you won't be having any scenario based type of a question. Are you able to relate with what I'm trying to say? In part B,
I
one
can't.
question will be for the 12.5 marks. So we could not focus on one single one single theory, because focusing on one single theory could only be for 5 to 6 marks. So we have to from
Got
every unit, from every lesson, a bigger question will be captured,
getting your point. Yes, got it. Thank you.
right? Right?
So we'll go. I mean,
Exactly.
we'll have to write the answer based about looking at the marks of the question, right?
Exactly. Obviously, if it is a 12.5 marks question or maybe 8 marks question, so 8 significant points should be there in your answer. Otherwise, you won't be able to justify that how you are giving. If you are giving only 5 points, how will you get 8.5 marks for that?
Should be explanatory, more explanatory.
Right?
Got it.
So,
Thank you.
And if you ask me, so you could prepare a few content theories, you could prepare a few process theories, and you could understand, you could just prepare the difference between the two. Is this part clear? Okay. Any other question? Should I move to the next theory? The same pattern. I'm taking the excess of mic and I'm moving to the next part. Okay. Next, this is very simple. In process theory, we have J.S. Adams' equity theory. So Adam explained that in your mind, there is a process where you compare the input and output of a particular uh, related to particular project. For example, what I put into my job, effort, loyalty, time, knowledge, and what I'm getting out of it. That is the pay, bonus, perks, benefits, etc. So an individual tends to compare it. So if input is equal to output, they are motivated. If input is more and output is less, they are not motivated. If output is more and input is less, obviously they are motivated. Similar to this, they also compare their input output with the input output other colleagues are giving. So if a person feels that, okay, yes, I have done MBA and I have been given 10,000 rupees as a return, and someone who is graduated and is getting 15,000. So what will happen to motivation level? It will go down because the person is going to feel that there is no fair treatment, right? So according to equity theory, employees do take certain measures to re-establish fair treatment in case of inequality. So when you will see that there is an inequality between two people or your input and output, then they change their input. They stop giving them efforts. They may change the output. They ask for higher returns. They may plan to leave the organization. And if it is a gone scenario, then they might change the person with whom they are comparing themselves, right? Last, we have Edwin Locke's and Gary Latham's goal-setting theory. So this theory emphasizes on the importance of setting specific challenging goals to motivate the behavior. So basically, these challenging goals lead to higher employee effort than easy goals. Goals affect persistence. Employees exert more effort to achieve higher goals. Goals motivate employees to use their existing knowledge to attain a goal or to acquire the knowledge needed to do so. So a goal setting model indicates that individuals have needs and values that influence their desires. With this, we are done with cognitive model. That is something that is there in your mind. Now we are starting with non-cognitive model. That means something that is happening in external world. So as a manager, B.F. Skinner formulated this reinforcement theory, which is a part of non-cognitive model. It says that if again and again a behavior is reinforced, right, then people's motivation will be impacted. For example, positive reinforcement. If a salesperson that exerts extra effort to meets the sales quota and is then rewarded with a bonus. So if someone is giving extra effort, you give the bonus. So every time there is a positive reinforcement. What is the learning for a person? That they need to repeat this behavior. They are motivated to do which the action or behavior that is being rewarded. Similarly, if there is some undesirable behavior and manager is again and again negatively reinforcing it, right? Then again the same behavior won't be repeated. For example, a salesperson who exerts effort to increase sales in some territory is reassigned some other territory. So if I put more efforts in a territory, then my territory is being changed. And this thing repeats again and again. Then this is a negative reinforcement. I will reduce my efforts. Similarly, we have punishment. So punishment is that if case employee is suspended, pay is reduced, bonus is reduced, then this is a punishment. So if for certain behavior this is happening, then employee won't be motivated to repeat it. And last is extinction, that is ignoring someone. So if employee is doing good but not getting any kind of praise, manager simply ignored the person. Again, the unwanted behavior will be reduced. A manager is going to ignore the behavior, people will stop doing the behavior, showing the behavior. So in reinforcement, we also have schedules of reinforcement. Schedules of reinforcement basically means how often the behavior is repeated. Again, in my regular class recording, you could get into detail of this. In very detail, I have explained the meaning of schedule of reinforcement, what is reinforcement with number of examples. So you could go in detail. You could see in detail in those recordings. In this class, I am just restricting it to limited topics because this is the fourth unit and we have to wind up remaining units also. So schedule of reinforcement, coming back to it, schedule of reinforcement, there are various ways in which reinforcement could be done. First is fixed interval, that is your monthly paycheck. So every month you will be getting the salary and the salary is going to motivate people. Then we have fixed ratio, that is like commission. So whichever, if 100 units are sold, commission is given. If next 100 is sold, commission is given. So after the fixed number of occurrence of a particular desired behavior, commission or reward is given. Then we have variable interval. That means the desired behavior is rewarded in different periods, right? So special recognition for successful performance or promotion to higher performance level. This is variable interval. At any point of time, reward is given. There is no fixed number of units that has been undersigned. And fixed ratio reinforcement is like a casino machine. So you never know when the things are coming to you as a reward. It's a jackpot. So you are performing without knowing when the things are going to happen. And all of the sudden, suddenly reward is given to you. Then we have cognitive evaluation theory that suggests that there are two types of motivation. One is intrinsic, second is extrinsic. Intrinsic motivation is internal motivation, that is an internal state or condition that derives behavior, such as hobby. And extrinsic motivation refers to direction from outside the person, including the reward, threat, punishment, etc., because of which a person is motivated to perform in a particular manner and not perform in a particular manner. Both intrinsic and extrinsic motivation are essentially related to goals. Now, the last topic here is application. So, motivate employee, what a manager could do. He could go with job enrichment. Job enrichment is a concept which is covered in Herzberg theory also, where he says work itself is a motivation. So when you add quality work in the profile, vertically enrich the job quality, then people are motivated to perform it. Then we have job rotation, which is an horizontal movement. Then if a person is moving from one job to another job of the similar nature, then the boredom is reduced and a person is motivated to perform. Then we have alternative work arrangements like flexi time. Flexi time means flexible work hours is given. Under this, organization gives an option to employee to choose the working hour, right? So flexibility of 2 to 4 hours is given beyond the fixed hours. So this adds motivation to their work. Then job sharing is also another way uh, to ensure your employees are motivated. So there were two Ford engineers. So they were doing job sharing program. So one used to work in morning slot and the other used to work in evening slot. So this used to give flexibility to both of them and they are able to complete their weekly hours. Telecommuting, work from home facilities, again, a factor that motivates people that for at least 2 days a week, a person is coming to office, rest he is working from home or vice versa. This gives them a facility. Then we have certain employee involvement programs. So many motivation theories can be linked with employee involvement program. For example, theory Y of motivation shows consistency with participative management. While how? Because theory Y says that if management is people are self-motivated, they want to achieve something, then management should come up with employee involvement program so that they could participate and they are motivated. Similarly, hygiene theory says that employee involvement program could provide employees with intrinsic motivation by increasing opportunity for growth, responsibility, and involvement in work itself, right? So employee involvement is also related with ERG theory that efforts to simulate the achievement needs. Similarly, forming the quality circle. That means you give an opportunity to your employees so that they could look into the different production tasks and come up with the solutions. So such quality circles are promoted in the organization to motivate employees to work hard. Then we have Unit 5, Leadership. Before I move to leadership, I'm giving you access to mic. If you have any query, you could ask. Again, you would check the class recording also. There things are more in detail. Any question? Yes, please. Should I start with leadership unit?
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, what is the meaning of fifth interval in schedule of reinforcement?
Fixed interval schedule means that in after fixed point of time, behavior, the rewards will be reinforced basically. अगर आपकी सैलरी आ रही है हर मंथ के एंड में आ रही है ना, तो एक
Yes,
मंथ तक काम किया आपके पास सैलरी आ गई एंड सैलरी इज द मोटिवेटर, राइट?
yes, ma'am.
Right, this is the meaning of fixed interval.
Okay, ma'am.
Anything else? Any question?
No, ma'am.
So basically, schedule of reinforcements is nothing. It only explains, it gives you the rules that when, after how much time the behavior should be reinforced. That's it, right? If you will see the regular video, then regular class video, then you will be able to see I have covered the difference and meaning of each terminology in detail, right? So I'm starting with the leadership topic. Okay, this is very important in your actual life also because we all want to become a leader, right? But we first have to understand who is the leader. So, who is a leader? And how is a leader different from manager? These are the two questions that we need to understand, right? So, imagine that you are a class representative and two members are not cooperating at all. What will you do? You will take control and assign the task yourself, hold a meeting and hear everyone, let them manage in their own, right? So how you're reacting and how you're solving this problem shows your leadership style. Okay, so let me first explain who is leader. Leader is the one who has followers. So if I would have asked you this in class, someone would have said the person who is having vision, someone who is coordinating, everything is true. But ultimately, a leader is the one who is having followers. People are ready to follow him. People perceive that the person, whatever he or she is saying, is correct. So that way you become a leader, right? And a leader is different from manager. Management is an official position that is being assigned to you. But leader may not be an official position. So we understand that labor union is there, labor leader is there. What do we mean by that? Manager ने वो leader point किया? No. Laborers themselves agreed that yes, this person could lead us. This person is the one who could talk about our rights. So people's perception about that one person has enriched in a manner that they are ready to listen to whatever the person is saying. And the person turns out to be the leader, right? So in OB, when we talk about leadership, we sometimes use it interchangeably because we want our managers who are having the official position to act as the leader, right? So I could give an official position to someone, but I could not compel others to listen to him. He or she should have leadership quality. People should ready to listen to the person. And how you act, how you react, how you manage things, right? This shows your style of leadership. Kurt Lewin gave three basic styles of leadership in 1939. talks about autocratic leader, a leader who takes control and assign tasks to you. Democratic leader who holds a meeting and hear everyone, right? He ensures participation. And a laissez-faire leader, a one who let the group decide, let them manage. He or she only helps them to bring the resources to the organization. Similar to this, Rensis Likert with his colleague in 1960 examines the data collected from 200 organizations in order to figure out which leadership style could extract maximum productivity from the subordinates. So, Likert management system was described. In this, four systems have been described, starting from exploitative, authoritative, benevolent authoritative, consultative, and participative. What does that mean? Exploitative authority is a kind of a leadership style where employee motivation is very low, communication between employees is very low, subordinates are not at all able to influence the decision, and decisions are taken by the superiors. Benevolent authority is authoritative is very similar to exploitative authority, with the only difference that rewards is given by the leader in case good performance is there, right? Otherwise, subordinates are not able to influence the decision. Superiors are taking decision. There is no communication, and motivation always remains towards the lower side. The only motivation is that if I'm going to perform, I will be getting the rewards. In consultative system, motivation is comparatively high because communication is high. So subordinates do add their suggestion. They put ultimate power. They give their thoughts. They share their thoughts, but ultimate power remains with the superior. So ultimately, decision is taken by the superiors, but subordinates are also adding value to it because communication is high. Whereas in the participative leadership style, motivation is very high, communication is very high, subordinates could influence the final decisions, and collectively, superiors and subordinates are making the decision. So, after this, we have theories of leadership. So, what is the theory? Each theory is an attempt to explain the phenomena, whereas leadership style is a way in which a leader leads an organization. Give me 1 minute. I have to sign this. So sorry for the disturbance. Okay. Am I audible? Put yes in the chat box when screen is visible. I'm not audible? Yes, am I audible? Okay. So basically, leadership style is the way in which leader is leading. अगर हम style को देखते हैं, there are three ways in which a class representative is dealing the situation. He is taking the control, assigning the task, holding the meeting, here listening to everyone, or letting them manage. So these are the styles. even in this, we have styles. Then, theory is something that explains the phenomena. So, all the leadership theories I have bifurcated into four broad categories. First category is early leadership theories. Then we have behavioral theories. Then we have contingency theories. And at the end, we have contemporary recent theories. Early leadership theory consists of two theories. One is great men theory, second is trait theory. Great men theory is given by Thomas Carlyle. He is an historian who believed that leadership quality is not learned, it is something that is God gifted. That means leaders are born to be made. So Alexander the Great, Mahatma Gandhi, Abraham Lincoln, and others. So this theory explains that there are some people who are born to be the leaders. So ultimately, they end up becoming a leader. Trait theory is an extension of Bateman theory, which tried to explore certain traits in the leader which makes them the good leaders. Some inborn traits in the leaders which makes them the great leader. So there are a lot of people who researched, they come forward with different kind of traits. And in 1948, Stockdale also gave an explanation where he talks about four categories of traits. First, a leader possesses a personality that is emotionally stable. He is very confident, adaptable. Then there are certain physical traits. That means they are tall, young, middle-aged, very energetic. Then there are some social characteristics. That means they have charisma, popularity, diplomacy, and finally they are result oriented. They are very ambitious. So he explained these characters. These are the traits which makes a leader a great leader, right? So leaders are born again. These are the inborn traits. But early leadership theories was criticized on few grounds. First, difficult to generalize, right? So there were people who were having these traits as explained by Stockdale, but they were not the good leaders. And there were leaders without these traits also. So it was difficult to generalize and explain with clarity that how they have formed it. And second problem with this theory was lack of measurement. So for example, when I say physically a person is tall, he's tend to be a leader. But how much tall? A leader is energetic. How much energetic? How you measure this energetic part? So again, on these grounds, these theories were criticized. Then came the second approach, that was behavioral approach. Within behavioral approach, we have three types of studies, that is Ohio State studies, University of Michigan, and managerial grid. So behavioral approach is somewhere different from the early one because it says that there are certain types of a behavior which a person can learn and become a good leader. So leaders are not born, they could learn those behavior and they could become a good leader. So individual could learn certain behaviors and can become a successful leaders. Research in leadership from the late 1940s to the mid 1960s mainly focused on the findings of behavioral styles that managers demonstrated and are most preferred in the organization. Ohio State studies, thousands of dimensions were studies. They were reduced in the following two dimensions, which cover most of the leader's behavior, right? So these two dimensions is structure and consideration, right? So this was bifurcated. If you could just see, x-axis is having structure and y is having consideration, right? So low structure, high consideration, high structure, high consideration, low structure, low consideration, high structure, low consideration. So what does that basically means? It says that if I talk about this, low structure, low consideration. This means the leader is not very concerned about the people. Concern for the people is low, and concern for rules and regulations in the organization is also low. So he or she is demonstrating the laissez-faire style. So he is leaving everything on the group and he is only arranging the resources from the outside, because neither he is very much concerned about the people, nor he is very much concerned about the structure and the rules and regulations. Similarly, if I look into high structure, low consideration, that is this one, right? Here, the leader is not having much concern about the people, but he is too much concerned and obsessed with the rules, regulation, and structure. So that means it's an autocratic leadership style. Here, the leader is more towards employee welfare. And here, high structure, high consideration, which is considered as to be the best one. This is a democratic leadership style where a leader is focusing too much on structure also and considering people's concern also. Next, in the similar period, similar to Ohio State study, a study was conducted in University of Michigan to identify the behavior of leader that enhances both performance and employee satisfaction. So, in a single quantitum, two things were explained. One is production-oriented leader and employee-oriented leader. So, production-oriented leader is focusing too much on the task aspect of the job, and employee-oriented leader is more concerned about the welfare and the well-being of the people. In this study, they found that production-oriented leader will be initially able to increase the production and he will be able to do good. But simultaneously, it is going to lead to high turnover and dissatisfaction, because eventually people will start taking leave. They will be start leaving the job. They won't be learning the work. So production-oriented leaders are initially good, but your employee-oriented leaders are better in long run. During 1960, again the similar time frame, we have Robert and Jane. Those both of them developed managerial grid. This model consists of two axes ranging from 1 to 9, x-axis and y-axis. So this is x-axis, x-axis, this is y-axis. It talks about concern for production, concern for people. 1 to 9. So 9-1 means high on task. The concern for production is very high, but concern for people is low. So it's 9-1 task. So a task is similar to autocratic style of leadership. Theory X. People don't want to do work. Manager needs to be more concerned for the production and push the work on them. Then we have country club. Country club is the one leader who is more concerned about the welfare of the people. That means he is scoring 1 on production but 9 on people, concern for people. Then we have impoverished, 1-1, neither more concern on people nor on nor concern for production also. So it is the leader usually tend to delegate. Here the leader is going to delegate all the responsibilities. Then we have team 9 and 9, high concern for people and high concern for production, right? So here the manager is working with theory Y. That means he's trying to foster democracy and foster teamwork. He also, they also talked about middle road, that is 5 on 5. Sorry. Just press. Okay, 5 and 5. Basically, middle road is the manager tries to balance everything. He's tried to show concern for people. He tried to show concern for production also. Out of all the quadrants, the best one in this situation was team, that is 9 and 9. A leader who has high concern for production and high concern for people. With this behavioral approach is done, I will be giving you access to mic so that you could ask your queries, because after that I will be starting contingency theories and they are a little confusing. Okay. Yes, any question? Any question?
मैम एक बार दोबारा मैनेजर एक बार दोबारा समझाना मैम.
If you will go through SLMs and the recording, class recording also, things will be clear. It is very simple to understand. Behavioral approach जो थी, I'm just going little from the back. Behavioral approach जो थी, उसमें different researchers ने study करी 1940 से लेके mid 1960s तक. और
Yes, ma'am.
3 पॉपुलर स्टडीज को हमने लिटरेचर में स्पेस दी. वन वाज ओहायो, सेकंड वाज मिशिगन एंड थर्ड वाज मैनेजरियल ग्रेड. All 3 of them are on the similar lines, but a little bit different. Like Ohio is explaining there are two dimensions, that is structure and consideration. And वो leader के behavior की बात करते हैं. It is the
ठीक है
behavior
मैम.
of the leader. So if a leader who is more concerned for the structure, वो अपने behavior में rules, regulation और structure की ज्यादा बात करते हैं and then try to stick themselves to that. That means structure पे they are scoring high, right hand side. In case
Yes,
they
ma'am.
are focusing more on the welfare of the people, उनके behavior में हमेशा लोगों के लिए concern आता है. That means they are focusing too much on people. So high consideration is C, right? Top row.
Yes, ma'am.
Similarly, Michigan ने single continuum में सिर्फ production oriented और employee oriented 2 categories of leader को study किया. मैनेजरियल ग्रिड में भी ग्रुप ऑफ रिसर्चर ने, जिसमें रॉबर्ट ब्लेक एंड जेन मॉन्ट का नाम हम देख सकते हैं, they have studied from the attitude point of view. This is a difference between Ohio and this managerial grid. They are talking
Good.
about from inside कैसा attitude है. We have already studied what is attitude. Attitude is feeling towards something. So
Yes, ma'am.
is a leader is one who is having concern for production, he is having a positive feeling towards the production, or he is having concern for the people, right? If he has concern for the people, which is very high, it could be either country club or team. If he is having more concern for the production, it could be either task or team. And if he is having neither concern for people and production, that means impoverished. Right? And then he also explained middle road. Middle road is a leader who is trying to balance between the two. Out of all these 5, the best one is team. Why team? Because here the leader feels that employees know how to do work, they want to do work, and he is using the participative style. He is including everyone in decision making. He is working like a team player. Right?
Okay,
In
ma'am.
task, the leader is behaving like an autocratic leader. In impoverished, his style is laissez-faire. He's delegating everything. And in middle road, he is trying to equally balance it out. So best one is 99 team. Now it is clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other question? Should I move to the next contingency theories? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. So I'm taking excess of my. Am I audible? Am I audible? Yes or no? Please say okay. Now, very important is contingency theory. It is little confusing. Fedler one is confusing. And it is important. Fedler contingency model was developed in 1967. Let me explain you broad thing. Early leadership theory, we believe that leaders are born with certain traits, right? So these traits are also inborn and leader is also inborn. Behavioral approach changed the mindset of the people, saying that it is not like leaders are born, but it is there are certain kind of behavior that a particular leader is reflecting, and that behavior could be learned by the leader. But here, again, the situation and time was same, right? They were assuming the same time and situation. Contingency theory focuses on the fact that it depends on the situation. So in certain situation, I could emerge as a very good leader. And in the other situation, again, I myself could be turned out to be a bad leader. So whether a leader is successful or not, it depends on the situation under which the leader is operating. So in contingency theory, we have two types of theories. One is Fedler's contingency model, and second is Hersey and Blanchard's situational theory. Fedler contingency model was developed in 1967, where Fred Fedler suggested that there is a need to have a match between the style of leadership and situation at hand. Change the situation and make it fit to the given leadership style, or change the leader itself. In simple language, Fedler suggested that every person has a natural leadership style. मेरा भी एक natural leadership style है, आप सबका भी एक natural leadership style है. And we could not change this natural leadership style. So if this natural leadership style is good with the given situation, then it is okay. In दोनों का match अच्छा है, it is okay. In case there is a mismatch, then we have to either or we have to change the leader, right? So he defined that there are two types of leader. One is the leader who is task oriented. He is more focused towards the task. Second is a type of a leader who is more focused towards the relationship with the subordinates. Now, how will I see that whether I have a task oriented leader or relationship oriented leader? So for this, he developed a least preferred co-worker questionnaire. This scale or questionnaire consisted of 16 contrasting adjectives like efficient, inefficient, supportive, hostile, like this. And the rating of the scale was 1 to 8. So this questionnaire will be filled by people, and with that I could know whether the leadership, my natural leadership style, is task oriented or relationship oriented. Further, Fedler explained that when we are looking into the situation, there are three possibilities. What are these three possibilities? If you are studying the situation, then there is a leader-member relationship. That means how much trust or confidence followers have in their leader. Then there is a task structure, how much formalized the structure of the organization is. Last is power and position, how much control a leader is having on the activities like hiring, firing, and others. Fedler explained that if leader-member relationship is good, that means people trust the leader. Task is highly formalized, and leader enjoys the strong power of hiring and firing. Then this is a favorable situation. If position power is weak and rest two are good, then also this is a favorable position. But in case people don't trust the leader, tasks are not formalized, and leader is not enjoying any power, this is an unfavorable situation. Even if two of them are, bad, it is an unfavorable situation. And in remaining all the cases, they are the moderate situations, right? So Fedler suggested that if the situation is extreme, either favorable or unfavorable, then a task-oriented leader is going to give you better results. Whereas if the situation is somewhere in between, it's moderate, then a relationship-oriented leader is going to give you better output, right? So this was Fedler's theory. Before we get into what were the limitations of Fedler's theory, I'm giving you access to mic so that you could ask questions if you have doubt in this theory, because this theory I believe is little confusing. So if you have doubt, you could ask. Yes, anyone? Theory is clear?
Ma'am, can we scribble this diagram if question comes on it in the examination?
If question comes in the examination, then you have to explain number one, these 2 points that I have mentioned here, that situation and leader. After this, you have to explain how you are going to measure the type of leadership, and then you have to explain all these three situations. Okay? And then yes, this table and this diagram is required, but you could opt, means you might miss this diagram. You can only give this 8 possible situations and write this line, it will be sufficient. Diagram is not mandatory.
Okay, noted, ma'am. Thank you.
Anyone has lack of clarity in the understanding of this theory? This theory is clear. Normally, what happens when students study this from different books, they focus too much on least preferred co-worker questionnaire. And throughout the answer, they keep on writing about this. But this is only a subset of explaining how to identify the natural leadership style. That's it. Main theory is in this table and this line that which particular leadership style is suitable in which situation. Right? Should I move to the next theory? The theory is clear to everyone, or there is any question? Should I move to the next theory?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes or no? Okay. Now, basically what happened, this Fedler's theory was equally criticized on various grounds. Number one, whosoever scored in middle of the LPC questionnaire, that means there was no clarity whether the person is a task-oriented leader or he or she is a relationship-oriented leader. Uh, Fedler simply discarded those questionnaires, right? And Fedler theory was too rigid in various reasons that they are giving, right? And the theory also says very adamantly that there is a natural leadership style that is going to remain intact and it could not be changed. So these are the three reasons why this theory was criticized. The second theory within the contingency theory, again, which says that it is a situation under which the leader is operating that matters, is situation theory. This model explains two components of maturity level. So there is a psychological maturity in your followers, which means they are very confident, they are willing to do work, they are ready to accept, they are ready to do the work. And then there is a task maturity. That means they do have a knowledge, they know how to do them. There are two things, right? So this theory explains that if your followers' readiness, right, is high, that means they are able to do the work, they want to do work. So they are willing to do work, they are able to do work. Or it could be moderate, that means they are able to do work, but they are not willing. It could be moderate in the sense they are unable to do, but they are willing. Or their maturity level could be low. That means neither they know how to do the work, neither they want to do the work. So a leadership style should move from low, moderate, and high. Again, I'm repeating. So this diagram is showing that if a leadership, this is task behavior, this is relationship behavior. So if your followers are not, if they don't know how to do work, they don't want to do work, then leadership style should be telling style. Why? Because followers' maturity level is low. Leadership style should be selling style. Why? Because people want to do work, वो करना तो चाहते हैं, but they don't know how to do it. So a leader needs to explain and sell what they are expected to do. Then there is a participating style. Because their maturity level is such that they want to, they know how to do work, but they are not willing. So आप उनकी participation ensure करवाओ. If the followers will be participating in the decision making, they will be motivated to do the work. And last is delegating style. That means they could do and they want to do. So you simply delegate the task. You don't take the task on you. So you could use the delegating style of leadership. So it all depends on the kind of followers that is given to you. If their majority level is low, go with telling style. If the majority level is high, go with delegating style. I'm giving you access to mic. If anyone has question in this, they could ask. Yes, any question? Theory is clear?
Uh, yes, I have a
No.
very difficult question. What shall we do in that case where everybody wants to be a leader?
Where everybody wants to be a leader. That means everyone is,
Yes, in the
see,
team.
there are two things. Okay, I tell you. On a fun side, if everyone wants to be leader, there could be two scenarios. One is they know how to do work and they are willing to do work, right? Second
Yes.
scenario is that they don't know how to do work, they just want power, right? उनको power चाहिए इसलिए they want to be leader, but they don't know how to do work. If they know how to do work, they are willing to do work, and then they want to be a leader, it is better you use the delegating style. आप delegate कर दो. Why? Because the group in which you are, the group that you are leading, they are mature enough. If maturity level is high, you don't keep everything with you. Don't go with micromanagement. Delegating style use करो, delegate कर दो. Right? But if it is a thing that they are willing, वो करना तो चाहते but they are not able to do, unable है, right? ऐसा कुछ है या फिर able है but unwilling है, something like that is there. In that scenario, from this theory point of view, you could use the participating style. You could not make everyone a leader, but they, when you delegate the task to them, they also get some kind of power. They are also able to enjoy that power. They will be happy with you. They will accept you as a leader. Have I answered your question?
Yes, got it. So two style I can adapt like delegating and participating.
Yes, it depends on, delegation can only be done if a person is very, very fine. Your, sorry, followers are fine-tuned with the quality of
Like
work they are able to deliver. Like I want power, but I don't know how to do work. So then you could not delegate it to me. It will be a mess.
lack of skill scenario will arise right there. Got it.
Right? But if I know how to do work and I could do it very, very, you are confident enough that yes, you could do the work, then it is better to delegate it. If you will give me some power, I will also give you, I will also accept you as a leader. Okay?
If the team have mix
Any
of
other
both.
question?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Any question?
Ma'am,
Sushmita, my voice is not clear. I don't know what others have an opinion because mic and network both are okay.
ma'am, I have a
Ma'am,
question.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
In the contingency theory, there are two theories. One theory is
Mhm.
Fedler contingency theory, and another one is Hersey and Blanchard's theory,
Situation.
right?
Yes.
Right. So in
Yes.
Fedler theory, there are 3 points which we have to explain in the exam if question comes on it. And yeah, these 3 points.
अब फेडलर की थ्योरी में मैं एक सिंपल चीज बताती हूँ. फेडलर की एक ओनली थ्योरी है जो कहती है एक नेचुरल लीडरशिप स्टाइल होता है हर पर्सन का जो चेंज नहीं किया जा सकता. आई एम स्पीकिंग इन हिंदी. आई होप एवरीवन इज ओके विद इट. यस, हिंदी इज ओके ना. सो बेसिकली इनका लीडरशिप स्टाइल का जो एक्सप्लेनेशन है फेडलर का, इट सेज कि एवरी इंडिविजुअल इज हैविंग अ नेचुरल लीडरशिप स्टाइल. सबके अंदर एक नेचुरल लीडरशिप स्टाइल है जिसे हम बदल नहीं सकते. और हर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के अंदर एक सिचुएशन होती है. वो सिचुएशन कैसे एक्सप्लेन करनी है आपको कि लोग जो हैं, जो फॉलोअर्स हैं, वो लीडर को ट्रस्ट करते हैं, उनको उस पर कॉन्फिडेंस है दैट वट एवर माई लीडर इज डूइंग इज करेक्ट. सेकेंड होता है फॉर्मुलाइज स्ट्रक्चर. फॉर्मुलाइज स्ट्रक्चर, टास्क स्ट्रक्चर का मतलब होता है सब कुछ में मान लो फॉर्मल है. इफ यू कम इन द क्लास, यू एंटर द क्लास, राइट, उसमें कुछ भी ग्रे एरिया नहीं है. सब कुछ पॉलिसीज के टर्म्स में लिखा हुआ है हमारे पास. सो वट एवर डिसीजन अ लीडर इज सेइंग और टेकिंग, इट इज वेल सपोर्टेड एंड इन अ फॉर्मुलाइज स्ट्रक्चर. और जितना स्ट्रक्चर इनफॉर्मल होगा वहां पे कुछ भी आपका रूल्स रेगुलेशंस इतने क्लियरली डिफाइंड नहीं होंगे. राइट. एंड लास्ट इज पावर. कुछ ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस के अंदर लीडर के पास बहुत पावर होती है हायर करने की, फायर करने की. और कुछ ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस में लीडर्स के पास उतनी पावर नहीं होती। सो हर लीडर के पास 3 तरह की सिचुएशंस हो सकती है। अगर पीपल आर ट्रस्टिंग द लीडर, इट इज गुड, दैट मीन्स ये गुड लिख दिया हमने, 4 times good 4 times poor। टास्क स्ट्रक्चर, इफ इट इज अ वेरी फॉर्मुलाइज स्ट्रक्चर, देन 2 चल रहा है, हाई और लो। एंड देन इज पावर पोजिशन, दैट इज स्ट्रॉन्ग एंड वीक। सो दिस इज 4, दिस इज 2 एंड दिस इज 1 इन ईच बॉक्स। सो आपको ये टेबल बनाना पड़ेगा एग्जाम में। नाउ अगर natural leadership style situation, say if it is a favorable situation or completely unfavorable situation, then task oriented leader will be able to perform better. If it is somewhere in middle ground, then relationship oriented leader is better. So you have to make in the exam, you have to make this table, you have to note down this line, you have to tell that natural leadership style is fixed and the leader could have different situation as defined here, 3 situation. और लास्ट में आपको क्या डिफाइन करना पड़ेगा कि हाउ कुड आई नो what is the natural leadership style of the leader. So it could be known using the least preferred co-worker questionnaire, which consists of 16 contrasting adjectives and rating from 1 to 8 scale. Using this scale, we could establish whether whether a person's natural leadership style is task oriented or relationship oriented. Now it is clear. इतना आपको लिखना पड़ेगा उसमें. Make sense? If
It is clear.
Hersey and Blanchard's situation theory is there, then you have to prepare this diagram. You have to prepare this box also. You need to explain psychological maturity and task maturity. अगर आप दोनों नहीं explain करना चाहते तो you could simply explain the followers maturity. That is also sufficient. Then you have to explain all these 4 quadrants correctly. I hope I have answered your question.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other
Thank you
question?
so much.
Should I move to the next theory? Okay.
Ma'am,
Oh, okay. Sorry, someone was saying something. I just missed. Yes, who was asking question?
ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, what is the meaning of maturity?
Task maturity basically means like I was explaining her also. If a person knows how to do the task, आपके पास एक you are an auditor, but you don't know how to read a balance sheet. I'm hypothetically giving you an assumption. So that means task maturity नहीं है आपके follower के पास. स्किल सेट होना, वो टेक्निकल नॉलेज होना जिससे वो टास्क को कंप्लीट कर सके. सो इफ दे हैव दिस टास्क मैच्योरिटी, दैट मींस दे आर एबल, कर सकते हैं काम को. अनएबल हियर मींस दैट दे डोंट हैव टास्क मैच्योरिटी, दे कुड नॉट डू द टास्क. एंड सेकंड इज साइकोलॉजिकल मैच्योरिटी, विलिंगनेस टू डू द वर्क. राइट?
Yes, ma'am.
Any other thing? Should we move to the next?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
So next we have there was an activity, I'm skipping it because we have time scarcity. So contingency theory is focusing on the context based, behavioral is focusing on the learned action, and trait is focusing on the bond qualities. Then now we were left with contemporary theories, which include transaction, transformational, charismatic, and authentic leadership. Burns and Bass introduced the concept of transactional and transformational leadership style, where they talked about transactional leaders who, as you could see in the diagram also, laissez-faire, management by exception, and contingency reward. So their transactional leaders are the one who focus on completion of the task, and they are more concerned about completing the goals. Transformational leaders are someone who goes beyond it, and they try to transform the followers altogether. So a transformational leader includes idealized influence, that means they gain trust of the people, They have a compelling vision, that is inspirational motivation. They show creativity, they encourage creativity, help, they help followers to challenge the situation and solve the problem. So that is intellectual stimulation. And finally, they give personalized mentorship, that is idealized influence, individual consideration, sorry. So this is individual consideration. So the whole idea is to transform the follower altogether with a compelling vision. So the transformational leader does have qualities of transactional leader, but vice versa is not true. So a transformational leader is the one who has all the qualities, but transactional leader is only limited to the three boxes at the bottom. A transactional leader follows a laissez-faire style. He hands over the responsibility of the follower, and mostly they tend to intervene when there are problems or set standards are not met. They have charisma that motivates the employees to give extra effort, but vision dominates charisma. Unlike charismatic leadership, leaders are found to be committed to the organization can win the followers' trust. Then we have charismatic leadership, that is one who relies on leaders' charm, vision. So basically, they have a very good communication skill, they have a compelling vision. Normally, these charismatic leaders emerges at the situation where there is crisis. So they shows empathy, emotional intelligence. They have an ability to create a strong emotional bond with followers. Good side is that they could inspire for higher loyalty, enthusiasm, and motivation in followers. But the con side of this is that these leaders may not provide the clear pathway, right? So sometimes they themselves are not very clear about how things will be going. But at a first, first level, they feels very enthusiastic, charming. So वो सारी qualities होती हैं, but sometimes they are unable to tell the pathway to the followers. Last, we have authentic leadership style. Here, the leaders lead with integrity, transparency, genuineness. There are key components of this leadership style is self-awareness, ethical grounded, balanced information, and relational transparency. So basically, authentic leadership is not in the true sense of style, but after 2000, when WorldCom, Enron, Satyam, different companies went down, then we realized that there is a need of leadership style who is more authentic, right? So Bill George, Avilo, different people came forward, practitioners and academicians who worked on leadership styles, and this leadership style of authentic leadership was there. So authentic leader is one who has self-awareness. That means they understand their own strength, weaknesses, and emotions, and they allow them to to be genuine and non-defensive. Then these are the people who are honest in their motives and action. They are very clear, predictable, transparent. Then all their decisions have a strong set of internal value and ethical principles. And lastly, their decisions are balanced, right? So what all they consider different viewpoints and information before making the decision. So unlike charismatic leaders, authentic leaders are not based on leaders' personal charisma, but on their consistent and genuine self. And unlike transformational leadership, while both can inspire, authentic leaders focus on building the trust through self-awareness and value, rather than solely by on uniting people around the grand vision. Now we are moving to next unit, that is unit number 6. Now this unit includes group, types of group and team, stages of group development, reasons for joining group cohesiveness, group think, and group shift. Could we take 5 minutes break? I'm giving access to mic. Could we take 5 minutes break?
Yes, ma'am.
right?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
after 5 minutes, I will be starting with the
Yes,
next
ma'am.
topic because we are done with individual part. Now we will be starting with group portion, which is a little new. So we will be taking 5 minutes break, then I will start. So I will start around 3:20. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.